City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Lewitton.
Hello, I'm here.
Alderman Shockey.
Here.
Alderman R. Wesley. Alderman Cadella.
Here.
Alderman Winger.
Here.
Alderman Coles.
Here.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman Police.
Here.
Mayor Johnson.
Here. Quorum being present, would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I'm okay. You notice I stood up there.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes, February 17th, 2011? Is
So move.
there a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Do any citizens wish to address the city council? If so, you go to the podium, give us your name and address. Mr. Lombardi?
Sal Lombardi, 145 South Central. We also have another property in town. Good evening. In October, we sent a letter explaining our circumstances resulting from the flood in September 2008. At the next city council meeting, I was told that some grants were being made available from the state to communities affected by the flood and that Wooddale had applied for these funds. As we understand it now, the disbursement is still in review and no date or timetable has been set in the disbursement of those funds. As we've stated before, we did the responsible thing and did not walk away from the property. The responsible thing, coupled with a lack of help from State Farm Insurance, has put us in a large financial hole. We continue to pay property taxes on a property that is not really buildable or sellable due to the location and the damage. We pay water, sewer, and garbage, although we have not used any of these services at this property for over 2 years. We stayed in Wooddale because we love the community and we love the people. This situation, however, is quickly becoming too much of a load for us to bear. We would like to know if there is a plan or program by the city independent of the state funding, or if we can have a discussion to find a quick and beneficial remedy to this problem. We are open to discussing all possibilities that could end this situation before additional large expenses are incurred on the property. If you have any questions or need any other additional information, I'm available, as is my wife, and I thank you for your time and your consideration. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Lombardi. You correctly summarized it. There was an application filed for a $6 million grant for purchase of flood-prone properties along the creek and/or flood-proofing and/or recreational development from the Illinois Department of Economic Development. That is still pending. As I understand, there is also a forest preserve program that is available for purchase, but I don't think you qualify for that one because you have to be creekside first or adjacent to an existing house that has been bought out, and you'd be on the third level priority. Certainly, we can talk about it. We're heading into a budget time, and we can bring that up in executive session should the council want to take some tourism money, either as it is or to use it to bond and obtain some additional funding, and look at a possibility of a city-funded program as well. That would be for the city council to decide at budget time. And that has been scheduled for March 24th on the Finance Committee agenda. So that is pending.
Thank you.
Thank you very
You're welcome. Hopefully, we can get that resolved for you. Anyone else wish to? Alderman Wesley, were you seeking recognition?
Yeah, Mayor, in that case, since they haven't used the garbage or water, is there a way that we could weigh them that they don't pay for all this? I mean, obviously, they haven't threw garbage out there for 2 years.
The water and sewer was turned off.
Ms. Lombardi, you're going to need to go to the, okay. Certainly, we can discuss that on the March 20th. It's not on the agenda tonight, but we can discuss that on the 24th as well. Does any other citizen wish to address the city council this evening? If not, I do have one written communique from the Wooddale School District Number 7. Dear Mayor Johnson and Alderman, I'm writing to thank the City of Wooddale for their support and assistance to the school district during the blizzard last month. In particular, Mr. Jeff Murmas for coordinating efforts to clear snow around school property, school property and student bus stops. The city's assistance in this regard helped to ensure the safety of our students as they waited for their buses or walked to school. I would also like to commend Chief Binowitz and Deputy Chief Vesta for their vigilance in providing personnel for traffic control as driving parents navigated the blind spots created by snow piles at the exits of our driveways. This assistance was much needed, and I am sure served to prevent many collisions during these snowy days. The members of the Wooddale Board of Education and I believe that government is at its best when taxing bodies work together to conserve resources and serve the citizens. The cooperation demonstrated by your city officials during this severe weather incident serves as an excellent example of how this can be accomplished. Best regards, John Corbett, Superintendent. And I'm sure Mr. Murmas would add a thank you to the Public Works guys as well, and Mr. Kramer. Under Mayor's Report, may I have a motion to approve a resolution to adopt municipal LAP, the Legislative Action Plan of the DuPage Mayors and Managers? Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we need a roll call? Resolution? No. That passes Resolution R-11-15. One other thing under Mayor's, a couple things under Mayor's Report. The police chief and I had the pleasure of reading to the third grade class of Mrs. Knopp at Westview School, and it was an enjoyable experience, and the kids had some great ideas on how we can improve city government. Also, I had the opportunity of attending the first Governor's Task Force meeting on the Elgin O'Hare. This was on the development side, some exciting things that they're talking about. Within the 28 communities, they're expecting an increase if the Elgin O'Hare is built and Western access of 15 million square foot of office, 10,000 additional hotel rooms, 25 million square foot of additional industrial space, and 3 million of additional retail and restaurant space should that project go forward. So hopefully that will help us all out in these tough economic times. That concludes my report. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have two reports. First off, all the city council should have received their fiscal year 2012 budget books. We will be discussing that next week. We tried to clear all other items off the agenda to focus on the budget, and I would encourage residents to stop by and come to that committee meeting, as it is the most exciting meeting of the year, bar none. The second item I have is the informational video on the NIMAC referendum, which would allow residents to have cheaper electric costs, is now on Channel 6 and Channel 99. It airs daily at 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon, and 10 and 11 at night. So if you'd like to learn more information about that potential cost savings in the upcoming referendum on April 5th, please go ahead and view that video. It's also on wooddale.com on demand. That concludes my report.
That brings us to the consent agenda. Is there any objections to any items on the consent agenda? Alderman Shockey?
Yes, number 8.
All right, number 8 will be removed and taken up under other business. Any other objections to any items on the consent agenda? If not, may I have a motion to approve the agenda being items 1 through 7? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Now may I have a motion to approve the items being on the agenda, being an ordinance extending the period for participation in the Intergovernmental Personnel Benefit Cooperative, an ordinance amending Section 15.1425, adding Sections 15.1429 of Chapter 15, Article 14, the Municipal Code of the City of Wooddale to require the use of child passenger restraints. Approval of contract award to Baxter and Woodman for Reservoirs 3 and 4 in amount not to exceed $34,500. Approval of contract award to Baxter Woodman for street sufficiency not to exceed $40,000. Approval of pay request number 6, CA Cement, amount of $153,608.51 for Elmhurst Street reconstruction. Approval of pay request number 2, final for Concord Construction, the amount of $24,955. For North Facility Conveyor Extension, and an ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property owned by the City of Wooddale. Is there such a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Alderman Lewis.
Yes.
Alderman Rocky.
Yes.
Alderman Cadella.
Yes.
Alderman Winger.
Yes.
Alderman Cole.
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley.
Yes.
Alderman Police.
Yes.
Those items pass. Item 1 is approved as ordinance O-11-2. Item 2 is approved as ordinance O-11-3. Item 7 is approved as ordinance O-11-4. Brings us to committee chairman reports, planning, zoning, and building. Alderman Cadella.
No report.
Public Health, Safety, and Judiciary. Alderman Shockey.
Mr. Mayor, no report, but I would like to compliment the chief on the police department report for 2010. It's thick and a lot of information. And is there a copy at the library?
Yes, there is.
For people to see? What section is in here is about stalking? Is there a place for that?
No, there's not a section with regards to that. We do try to summarize all our events during the year, goals and objectives, and then all our empirical data with regards to our statistics and just the programs that we provide.
I see. Okay, thank you. No report.
That brings us to Public Works. Alderman Wesley.
Mr. Mayor, I will ask that this item be tabled at this time.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is it tabled to a specific, just table generally, or to a,
Probably next committee meeting, because I'm still working on some other stuff.
okay, very good. Seconder agree?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion-
Opposed?
One opposed, motion carries. That include your report?
That's include my report.
Finance and Administration, Alderman Winger.
I make a motion to approve the grade separation public outreach material as submitted.
Is there a second? On the question, Alderman Coles. It was Alderman Cadella.
I have a question. That's subject to phase 1, right? That doesn't have anything to do with phase 2. Am I right?
Mr. Murmas?
Correct. That's the conclusion of everything we've done in Phase 1.
Including the side roads, the computer on left turn,
That includes the correction of the left turn onto westbound Irving Park Road, the extension of Front Street bypass, and the right turn lane on eastbound Irving onto southbound Wooddale, along with the new proposed bootleg road.
Okay, thank you very much.
Alderman Lewitton?
Jeff, the monthly newsletter for Wooddale has already gone out, and on page 1, they've already published the position. Why are we voting on this now if we've already published it in the monthly magazine?
Mr. Murmas?
The article in the newsletter was relatively brief. It had no details of any substance. It references you back to the website, and that material hasn't been established until after tonight, after the approval tonight.
But it's a little bit more than that general. It lists 1, 2, 3, 4 things that it does. Like number 4 is entrance to the pool through another road. It lists the underpass. It lists all 4 things that we're voting on to include the way we want it. It's already been published.
Well, those 4 things were never in debate. All the other portions of the project were discussed at committee level, so those never had any items for debate. Those were always included in the plan, so we had to put something in the newsletter. The point of the newsletter was to reference people to other avenues to get the information.
So tell me, what are we voting on here that's not on those 4 listed items in the monthly newsletter?
You've got a 4-page summary of the whole project as far as funding, history, purpose of the project, need for the project, a map. You have land acquisition assembly notes. It's really a pretty extensive 4-page synopsis of the project that will be included in the next water bill going out to residents, and we'll also produce a video on public access TV. So that's what you're approving the submittal in your packet for dissemination.
So you think it was proper to put that in the paper, in the newsletter, even though we hadn't voted on the whole thing?
If I didn't, I would not have included it.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Anything further? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
It brings us to other business. Item 8, may I have a motion to approve, or is there going to be an amended motion? Alderman Wesley?
Yeah, Mayor, there is a amended motion on this, to proceed with, 70% design on phase 1, not to exceed $20 million too. That is my motion.
$20,200,000.
Right.
Anything further? Or is there a second?
Second.
Anything further? Alderman Shockey.
I have to apologize that I had to leave last week and wasn't here for this part of the meeting. But I sat down with the computer and watched it at home. And it was long, but it was interesting, and it sounded really good. I just have a couple of questions about it. First of all, they never did really explain how we went from 11 million to 20 million just by adding some things. Now, I mean, you know, if you add $1 million or $2 million, but this is almost 100% increase from what they originally talked about. And I thought they said originally that the 11 million would include the nitrogen and phosphate removal. And now they're saying that it does not include that. And we'd probably have to go further in the future to do $34 million to do the total job. And then, as I was watching it, I was going through this book of designs, or whatever you call it, blueprints, and then this book supposedly explaining it all. I'm not an engineer, and I'm just wondering, why did they give us, this looks like over 100 pages of paper. As not, you know, we're aldermen, we're lay people, we're not really knowledgeable in this kind of thing. It made me think kind of that, well, you know, maybe they're doing this just to show us we're getting our money, $20 million money's worth. Along with that, it just didn't really sit well. And personally, I have to try and talk to a couple of engineers that I know and let them go through it. And again, it looked good. I mean, there was nothing I can really complain about or question except about the amount going up so high. For the time being, though, until I get more information and have somebody else look at this and go over it with me who has some real knowledge on it, I have to vote no. I know it's going to pass. I know everybody went with it last week, but personally, I have to vote no until I get that additional information. That's all. Thank you.
Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Winger?
Yes.
Alderman Lewitton?
No.
Alderman Cadella?
Yes.
Alderman Shockey?
No?
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Cole?
Yes,
Alderman Police?
Yes.
That passes. That brings us to bills. Alderman Winger?
I'd like to make a motion to approve a list of bills dated March 3, 2011 for $492,291.93.
Is there a second
Second.
on the question? Alderman Wesley?
Page 1. Irving Park Wooddale Road grade separation engineer, $5,922.38. Can you tell me what they have done for that?
Mr. Murmas?
Again, it seems like this question comes up all the time, and I really don't have a good answer other than that they're wrapping up phase 1 as far as paperwork with DuPage County Department of Transportation, with federal highways, dotting I's and crossing T's.
So if you have no idea, obviously,
No, that's what it's for. I mean, that's what it's for.
Because obviously, we haven't seen anything up here in the council for this phase, what they have done, or any documents, what's been going on in that project.
However, Ms. Muramus, I believe has been informed we can now close out Phase 1.
Yeah, we do have an update late in the week. I just received word from AECom that it looks like we can wrap up Phase 1 relatively soon now. So unless you want to see inter-office emails between these guys, I don't really foresee giving you much more information in your packets on it.
Anything further? Roll call.
Alderman Lewitton,
Yes.
Alderman Shockey,
Yes.
Alderman Cadella,
Yes.
Alderman Winger,
Yes.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley,
No.
Alderman Police,
Yes.
That passes. There are no items to be referred under items for information only. Want to remind everybody that Dennis Rebeletti, Representative Rebeletti, is collecting for soldiers to be donated to the USO. They're looking for Chicago sports teams, merchandise, sporting equipment, board games, snacks, health and comfort items, magazines, books, DVDs, electronics, phone cards, and also financial donations. And anybody wishing to donate can drop that off at Representative Rebeletti's office, and it'll be forwarded to the troops overseas. The deadline is March 17th, and the location for drop-off is 50 East Oak Street in Addison. May I have a motion to adjourn the city council into executive session for purposes of a review of the official minutes and pending litigation pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C21 and 2C11. Is there such a motion?
So move.
Is there a second? Second. Roll call?
Alderman Lewitton, yes. Alderman Shockey,
Yes.
Alderman Cadella,
Yes.
Alderman Winger,
Yes.
Alderman Coles,
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley,
Yes.
Alderman Police.
Yes.
That passes. We're adjourned.
Is there a way that I could vote to pay the bills and not, I mean,